Welcome to Pinnacle Performance Company's Fishbowl Friday with Pinnacle co-founder and COO G. Riley Mills and master instructor and editorial director Brad Lawrence.
And it's Fishbowl Fridays. We're back to send you into the weekend with the discussion on communication. I'm Brad. This is Gary. How does this work, Gary?
We got a fishbowl here full of questions. We're going to draw one, give you some insights, give you some answers, then send you off into your weekend, as Brad said. Ready?
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Today's question, is it okay to end my presentation early? That's a good one.
It is a good one. I love this question because I don't know about your experience, but I actually have it. It's difficult to convince people that that's actually okay.
Yeah.
They feel like, oh, I've been told I got to go for 30 minutes. I got to fill every possible second with content.
Yeah, I always tell people no one in the history of meetings or presentations has ever complained that meeting ended too early. It's never happened. So generally try to end a little bit early because chances are these people in your meeting have to go to another meeting. And if you go right to time, they're going to be late for their...
It's Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law. Tell them what Parkinson's law is.
Well, so this is a joke law. This is not actually a real scientific thing, I don't think. And apologies to Mr. or Mrs. Parkinson. I can't remember the first name of the person who invented this, but it's the theory, the idea that work balloons to fill the time allotted for it. When was the last time you scheduled a meeting virtually, especially like Teams or Zoom or whatever? You schedule it for a half hour. When's the last time you ended that early?
Right.
It's usually a rush in those final 5. God, we're running out of time. We got to cram it in.
Yeah.
And my personal guideline, and I'm not saying everybody should do this, but when I have a set amount of time to fill, I plan to fill 3/4 of it and no more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we said, nobody's going to complain about the meeting ending early. However, conversely, they hate when you go overtime on your meeting because you've broken that agreement. You said this meeting is going to be from 1 to 2, and now it's 2:20, and you are still going over this information, and they are late for their next call or their next meeting. People resent that. So be careful of that.
Yeah, and anticipate things that are going to chew up time. Because I'm sure the previous meeting went over, so people are arriving late, and hopefully there's going to be interactivity that's going to chew up time. Yeah. There's going to be questions.
Yeah. So try to end a little bit early. If you are in an engagement where you have to go for an hour, like it's a keynote, you've been hired to go a full 60 minutes, you don't want to end at 45 minutes. That's not going to be great. But if you go through all the material, you cover everything, and you're 5 minutes early, and you need to fill that 5 minutes contractually, or for the group, they want the full 60 minutes, we have a little bit of time for questions. Looks like we have 5 minutes. Are there any questions? That's a great way to end. And even if there are no questions, because you've done such a good job of answering everything and covering everything, you've at least put that out there.
Yeah.
And it's silent. Nobody has any questions. Great. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, for 5 minutes. If anybody wants to come up and ask me anything, thanks everybody for coming. I think totally acceptable, right?
Absolutely.
So is it okay to end early? Yes, it is.
Please do.
Most cases, please do. That's even better.
Yeah.
So there's your Fishbowl Friday. End your meetings a little bit early. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
If you'd like to submit a question for the Fishbowl, drop us an email at fishbowl@pinper.com. If you'd like to learn more about Pinnacle Performance Company, email us at info@pinper.com. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and tell your friends. See you next week.